is Monday, June 16th. We're heading down to the Netflix Tudum Theater in downtown LA for the screening of K-pop Demon Hunters, and very, very excited. Dress code was smart casual, which, you know, who knows what that means, but I figure, you know, a little bit dressy, a little bit K-pop inspired, so we'll do a full look at the outfit once we get there. But yeah, we are very excited to see the movie. It comes out this Friday, but we're getting to see it early and in a big theater, which is really, really cool. Alright, here I'm showing you my outfit of the day. It was very windy and noisy, so I'm just going to do voiceover. Basically, my little shawl cardigan and my trouser shorts and belt were all thrifted, and then the white silk cami was from Amazon, and all my jewelry was pretty much from Amazon, like Pavoy and Mikiko, and then my earrings were from Claire's. We walked over to the Netflix Tudum Theater, and then we checked in, did security, will call. We got some drinks, so we got the Mocktail Saja Boys. This was a ginger and lychee and lime drink, very refreshing. I had these really cute custom napkins. They had a lot of past snacks, so they had a little takeout container with some japchae. They had the Korean corn dogs with mozzarella and sweet potato. They had hot dog, they had kimbap, and one or two other dishes as well. And here's the cast and the picture of the venue when it was after the screenings. It was a little more empty. They also had very fancy bathrooms, which I had to just take a picture since it was calling my name to do a mirror selfie. They also gave us these very cute customized shin ramyun that you could put your name on it, which is a little Easter egg nod to the movie. And yeah, all the lights were purple, kind of themed towards the movie. They also gave us popcorn and a very fancy canned water. But yeah, the theater is stunning. Then we watched the movie.
We'll love it. And I need to know, Maggie, this project took you 7 years. And how did this concept idea happen? And, you know, how did this partner between the two of you really evolve and become this?
Yeah, so ever since the beginning of my career, which was over 20 years ago, I don't want to admit that, but I knew that there was a desire in Korea for a Korean film to be made, like something that was representing Korean culture, and I'm like, cool, I'd love to work on that. And it took 20 years, after 20 years, there wasn't one that was made, and so when it came time for me to pitch my own ideas, I was like, well, maybe I could be the person who can lead that. So I started to think about ideas for a film like that, and I just really got drawn into the demonology of it, and I thought that the demons and the designs would be really unique, something we really haven't seen before. And that naturally just led to Demon Hunters, and of course a group of badass girls. Like, I really wanted to see that, and when I started thinking about that, it kind of shone a light onto like the superhero space, where I feel like a lot of female superheroes are being portrayed, and we're seeing a lot of them, but I wanted to see a different kind of superhero, female superhero, ones that were not only just badass and cool and sexy, but also very flawed. You know, girls who were funny and goofy and wanted to see some stupid faces on them. And so, yeah, I created Huntrix, and the K-pop of it all actually came after. It was the last ingredient folded in, because demon hunting is usually done privately behind, you know, in alleyways and stuff. So these girls needed like a cover, and K-pop felt like a really fun Korean thing. And so yeah, it brought the spectacle and made the movie much bigger in scale, and obviously made it a musical.
Yeah, and I mean, the music is amazing. But Chris, how did you become a part of it as well? Because I know you had experience with Wish Dragon and all your other animations. So how did you join this project? Music. And speaking of joy through the music, you three are amazing in your roles, and it's so fascinating to see these characters who are like strong and badass women, but also, like you said, flawed and, you know, going through so many emotions. And I'm so glad we got to see layers of them. Like, for you guys, were you guys fans of like the K-pop scene, and how much fun did you have playing these characters? How did you find, like, what was the process of finding the voices for your characters?
I mean, it was so much fun. I hope you guys could tell. And I feel like I've always grown up loving K-pop, and for finding Rumi's voice, I really have to give credit to Maggie and Chris for just giving us all the direction. They gave us room to play, but fun fact, Rumi is Maggie's daughter, inspired by Maggie's daughter, and
Her name is Rumi as well.
yeah, she's here, and so I feel like
She plays young Rumi.
it was so special because obviously it's something so close to Maggie, and I'm honored just to be a part of it and to be here. But, you know, I think finding that perfect voice and that sound was something that definitely I couldn't have done on my own. And thank you guys for all your guidance and all the hours. We had fun.
How many
It
hours?
was a lot of hours.
But it was fun. It was such a cool process. And again, amazing to see it on a screen like this, and just, it feels so special.
And then May, how did you find the, like, Mira?
I think the casting was really perfect.
Thank you.
You can already tell the delivery. I feel like Chris and Maggie really, they're just such amazing voice actors in their own right, as well as directors. So they really played along with me and helped sort of corral me into a different version of myself, you know. I mean, it's not that different. But it was so fun, and then for all of our voices to now be seen together, because we were not recording together in the studio. We were all working independently, and but then in spirit, it just feels like everyone was there. It was one of my favorite moments with May. The first session, she walked in and she said, "Hi, did you cast the other girls?" And I said, "Yes." And she's like, "Where are they?" It's really funny.
No, there's so much chemistry. But Jiyoung, how about you? Like, how did you find Zoe?
I think we actually all had like pretty long audition processes for this. So the benefit of that was that I had many months to think about Zoe and like wonder about her. But not like will I be employed, but more just like who is she? And I think I'm a little bit of a recovering people pleaser, so I just kind of like walked back into the place my voice goes when I'm like, hey, is everybody having a good time? Because I really need everyone to have a good time. But I mean, it's just all in the writing. The character was so on the page already.
Yeah, I can imagine you going like, "Oh, was it good? Oh, was that take good? It was good, right? Good."
Yeah, everyone's happy with that. Yeah. Say yes.
I feel like Maggie kind of spearheaded this in wanting these sort of flawed and different flavors of the super awesome girls. But I felt like with each character, maybe like the second session at some point with Arden and May and Jung, we'd be like, "Yeah, now do like a crazy thing," and they'd be like, go to crazy, like 7 out of 10 crazy, and we'd be like, no, like crazy. And they go all the way, and then we'd be like, yeah, that. And they're like, you want to do this on screen? We're like, yes. And suddenly there was like this new permission structure. And then I felt like who you guys are as people suddenly came into every scene. And then it was like we just shut up and listened and let them act, because they were like found the full range of the performance, and that was so fun to watch. So.
Well, it was fun to watch too.
I think, like, for me, I don't think that there's one style of animation in this movie, and there's actually a lot of the movie is on 2s, but some of it is on 1s, some of it's on 3s, and it all just depended on the moment and the style of animation as well, and whatever we were influenced by depended on the scene and the moment of the scene. So I think we all were just kind of, we're all making animation because we're such huge fans of it. And so anytime we could do something like, oh, I want to do that here, like we just did it. And that was really fun. And with in terms of just representation and Korean representation through the characters, we worked really hard to like capture the eye shapes, like how a Korean eye shape would emote, and how the different expressions that they would make. My kid will point out some things and be like, "That's mommy's face," and I've heard that Chris's wife, and I'm sure you girls too, like feel pretty seen in some of these expressions. And we worked really hard with the animators to make the characters feel like they were speaking Korean with their mouth shapes, even though they were speaking in English. And that was just another like layer of kind of Koreanism that we wanted to add in.
Well, I just felt a bit of ITZY. I felt Twice. I felt TXT. I felt AT, Stray Kids. Like, I felt a variety of BTS. Yeah. I felt a variety of these K-pop stars into these characters. Can you tell me where the inspiration came from these characters?
Well, it was some of Chris's picks and my picks, and I think we all kind of had our like, for example, Jinu is like the K-drama lead, and we all have like our favorites. And I think at one point we told our art department, we had this Miro board, which is like a digital like bulletin board that you can create, and people could put images and anything on it. And we were like, hey guys, the art department, like add in your favorites. And once we said that, it was like everybody was on these Miro boards. So I think it was kind of like everyone. For Jinu, it was a lot of K-drama leads, and we just wanted him to be very classic looking. So with him, we stuck to the dark hair, wanted to make him look as Korean as possible. And then for other boys, there's Stray Kids in there, there's ATs. I have no idea who Mystery is based on because he's got no face. I think that was more like a kind of an anime, trope, or I don't know. We were like, why doesn't he have a face? And they're like, trust us. And we're like, all right.
It's nice too because the story has conceptual stuff that you can use to motivate costumes. And so you got demon patterns for the boys' costumes. You have all the different motifs the girls go through of the golden song, which is kind of their MacGuffin. It's kind of their thing they're chasing. So to have those, it felt like we kind of had like original concepts for these bands, even though we were taking inspiration from the kind of vibe of so many, because the K-pop costume design is world class now. So it was just like, go look at Givenchy lookbook from, and it's just really good, and like just make it great design. And I feel like that's the bar now, which was really fun as designers to try and hit that. Sorry, question. Hard question.
So glad I don't have that.
It's a Q&A, guys.
I mean, as you said, the story has so many layers. I feel like it's really special, just as an Asian American who's been in this business for 20 plus years. Maggie said it perfectly. We just haven't had a story like this. And yes, it's in the world of K-pop and demon hunters, and it's very fun and magical, but it really is a story about identity and who we are as people and who we are as girls, women, yeah, and just all the struggles we have. Like, I think one of my favorite scenes, although it's sad and scary, is when everyone's sort of insecurities are speaking because Kima is like there. And I feel like, in different stages of life, we have our, insecurities speaking to us. And it's something that you choose to fight through and overcome and hopefully accept your flaws because they're beautiful and it makes you who you are. And I feel like this movie just has an overall beautiful message. And I love that the girls fight for that and obviously, fight to save the world on the big scheme of things. But yeah, I don't know if I answered the question, but
that was great. You guys have anything to add?
Yeah,
Don't trust people, men, and
Not bad.
yeah, don't trust hot men with those.
Well, I hope that I think film is a really amazing art form. It has the power to kind of break down barriers. We through film and story, we kind of see that humans everywhere just want the same things. They want love, they want acceptance, they want security, and I hope that a younger generation watching this movie can really learn and feel that even though these young women feel very Korean and act very Korean, that they can really feel for them and resonate with them, and that their journey is universal. So.
Yeah, well said. For me, I guess I always kind of loved the outer demon, inner demon part of the story, and like Jiyoung was saying, just that aspect of everybody's got some broken parts, and the way that you process that can really take you apart and isolate you and make you lesser than yourself. And that's what happens when you try to handle it all by yourself. And if you can have the courage to show people who you love those parts, they almost always end up loving you more eventually for them. And that makes everybody closer. And I feel like as much as we want to be vulnerable and talk about it a lot, it's really hard to do in real life. So I hope that this helps some people feel like, okay, let me just get my demon markings out and put a little light on them.
Yeah, I mean, I hope this movie makes everyone feel seen and connected, and I feel like quite often in film and TV, whenever there's a project that is Asian or sort of a minority-centered story, I think a movie like K-pop Demon Hunter, some people might think, oh, it's just about K-pop or it's Korean, but I hope people can get past that and see this is an incredible film. It's an incredible movie, and just, I feel like I'm probably a little biased, but one of the best animations I've ever seen. And, I hope people can just see that it's a great movie for everyone, not just K-pop lovers, for all types of people, whatever color or type you are.
I also think that if you're hiding parts of yourself or not being honest about who you are and you're not accepted, that will feel really bad because it was never true to you to begin with. But if you are honest with yourself and show people and lean on others, then nothing can really stop you, even if you're not accepted for that.
What I want fans to take away is that they want a sequel. I have questions. Yes. Just two? That's genuinely my answer. Sorry, no breaks for you, Chris. You gotta bring them back.
Well, I think we all really want to see that too. So, yes, right, guys?
We just got out of the movie.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was really good. Everyone should definitely go watch it on Netflix on Friday and stream the album. The music is all really, really good as well. And yeah, I feel like I don't have a lot to say, but yeah, it's a really good movie. Very similar to Gentry, some overlaps. It was fun seeing all the similarities there, but also a lot of differences. And, I feel like it would be a really fun, TV show. They could definitely expand upon the story more. But yeah, thanks so much to Netflix and Sony and Asians in Animations for providing us with the opportunity to come out and see the movie. So here's an overview of all the goodies that we got. So we got some nice big laminated tickets. Here's the popcorn again and the water again. Very fun. And then we got a magazine here. It's the Netflix Family Magazine, and inside they had a bunch of activities and stickers with the K-pop Demon Hunters. And then we also got some, here's the ramen closer up, and there's the, spicy flavor. They got, but I don't know if I'll ever make it. And then we got some photo cards